Hey, welcome back to the Ready State. So one of the things that we obsess about here at the shop is your ability to rotate. If you followed our feed, you're like, these kind of people are kind of heavy on the rotation. What we know is that rotation is one of the ways that our body creates great stability. In fact, it explains the mechanics of tying arm to body or tying hip to body. And if we don't have this rotation, we're sort of left with an incomplete mechanical model about how the body creates stability. So one of the things that we see is that our bodies are quick to give us the slack we need to solve a movement problem. And unless I'm coached to do so, sometimes we are loath or not able, or we don't rewind up moving towards stability. So for example, we know that in the windmill, right, if we're doing a windmill, I have a kettlebell here. Let me show what I'm talking about. So one of the things that we talk about is saying, hey, thumb back, which is really cute for how do I create a little bit more stable shoulder position. Now, I don't have to be at end range, cranking towards end range. I need to be moving towards end range because I have better function of the shoulder, better function of the scapula, better function of the rotator cuff. The whole system stacks and handles loads a little bit more effectively when I'm thinking about this rotational capacity. Overhead, we'll see even young kids will put their hands in, and we even teach this in gymnastics, hands turned in, because when they block, they'll automatically, passive mechanically create this rotation in this overhead position. They don't even have to do it actively, they're just already set up. That's why we teach that kind of hand together. So as soon as the hands hit, ooh, that rotation is sort of a given. Well, when we put this kettlebell over my head and I perform a windmill, one of the things that we see is that it's impossible for me to keep the armpit forward or moving towards a thumb back position, because eventually I'm just going to run out of capsule and I'll have to default out of this position. So what we have to do here is we're actually teaching people to unwind to find their position in this. But as we come back up, what did I fail to do here? I failed to rewind. So what we're asking you to do is that if you're doing some movements that ask you to unwind the position, let's cue ourselves into getting into rewinding the position. So I love this windmill, not because it's great for the back or the hamstrings, but it teaches our athletes to go from these various shapes. Overhead, suddenly into this hang shape, which is what we're doing. We're going from overhead, right, moving into this hang shape position, but I'm also maybe unwinding to make that happen. And if I just come back up, look what happens, shoulders unwound. So this is an opportunity to teach this rotational concept so rotation becomes ingrained in our athletes. Thumb back, maintain, fight for that rotation, has to unwind. It's so easy here. It's loosey-goosey. But as I come back up, I want to have my athletes be confident about moving back into that rotation. That's part one. Hang on for part two.